All right, good morning, everybody, and good to be on with you on this Wednesday. And it's Wednesday, March the 22nd. And thank you so much for being on with me this morning and looking forward to just the events of the day. Obviously, we've got our Power Up. We want you to share that. We've got church services tonight at 6 o'clock. Want you to be here for that. And look forward to our young people's ministry, The Rock, the teenagers being here, and then our adult Bible study, and just look forward to being in the Lord's house tonight. Hopefully you can join us on this Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. As I've already said, hit that share button if you can so that others can jump on live here today. Also, today is the actual birthday of Pastor Barnett, and he is 90 years old today, and we thank the Lord for him, and we celebrated his birthday this past Sunday as a church family, and you be sure and wish him a happy birthday if you see him today. And man, what a great day it is, and happy birthday, Pastor Barnett. Okay, now, as I said, hit that share button. Let's comment throughout as well. Let's jump into Job chapter 37, okay? Job chapter number 37. We are coming down to the end. We've got the final chapters left. It ends at chapter 42, and so we're coming down to the end here of the book of Job. Hopefully it's been encouraging to you as we've walked through this, and even as we've noted maybe our response to trials, our response to difficulty, our response to people. Also, hopefully it's been an encouragement to you. And then also really as we think about, even as we touched on yesterday, the greatness of our God, the fact that he is in control, and we need to trust him. Hopefully that's been an encouraging theme throughout this study as well. Now, chapter 37, here we go. Verse number 1. At this also my heart trembleth and is moved out of his place. Now, we got to remember that is Elihu that is speaking here. And Elihu brought up the greatness of our God. We noticed it in chapter number 36 and verse number 26. Behold, God is great. Even the fact that he created the water cycle and he oversees all of that, and he decides when it's going to rain. He organizes the weather patterns and all of that. And then Elihu says, after he's made those statements, at this also my heart trembleth and is moved out of his place. Okay? Elihu even admits the greatness of God causeth him to have that reverential fear of who God is, and really that respect of who God is as we think about his greatness. Now, you look at verse number 2. Elihu once again then says, hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth. He directeth it under the whole heaven, and his lightning unto the ends of the earth. After it a voice roareth. He thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. So we see now this reference to thunder, to lightning. And we know that even the Bible here kind of gives us a little bit of scientific fact that it is the lightning that flashes, and the thunder is a result of that lightning. And even that statement there is, as we know, why is it that the lightning is heard after the flash? It's because light travels faster than the speed of sound, and so we don't hear the thunder right away, and that's why it is a little bit delayed sometimes as well, unless it's right over the top of you, the storm. Then you hear about it. But think about this: Elihu referencing it as the a voice that roareth after that lightning. And he's referring to it as, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. Look at verse number 5 now. He's speaking to those storms, that thunder, that lightning. Then verse number 5, God thundereth marvelously with his voice. And so in much the same fashion, God speaks. and his voice being powerful like thunder. He says, great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. And isn't that true? We see time and time and time again in the scriptures how that we cannot comprehend what God is doing oftentimes in this world, what God even does in our lives. And even in respect to Job, as Job has kind of gone through this, he does not fully understand why he is experiencing what it is that he is experiencing, okay? He cannot fully comprehend that. And that's where faith comes in and that trusting the Lord comes in. You know, we don't know why things happen day in and day out. And sometimes they happen because of mankind's sin. I get that. But that's not the direction that we've been taking in this. Rather, as we consider trials in our life and maybe some difficulties that come in our life as a result of just living this life, hey, we've got to and we must trust what God is doing, and he is the one. Even Elihu says we cannot comprehend. He is the one that knows the beginning from the end. He is the one that equips us for the trial, for the difficulty. And so, man, we've got to stay on point, stay focused on the Lord and what he's doing in our life. Verse number 6. We see this reference here. I know you're not gonna like this here. Those of you that are in northern Michigan or chillier areas, you're not going to like this. For he saith to the snow. Okay, sorry, I said snow. Be thou on the earth. Okay, and now we're going to see this reference to the seasons. And he says, for he saith to the snow, be thou on the earth. Likewise to the small rain and to the great rain of his strength. And so we know that there are certain times throughout the year where we're going to experience snow or a rainy season. I think of even in California now, they've got tremendous amounts of rain and water and all but wiping out the drought that they have been going through and state that they've been going through. That's all been wiped out because of the amount of rain that they've received. And I would say this, just from the outside looking in, and we see California's lack of preparation. They've got all this water that's happening. They're dumping the water, releasing it into the ocean because they don't have a way to store it all. They've stored as much as they can, and now they're releasing it into the ocean. So maybe a lack of preparation, I don't know, but a lack of being able to store that water for those times of drought. It's incredible to think about how they limited people in the watering of their lawns and even the usage of the water in their homes and those types of things. But anyway, God is the one that organizes that, and it is the natural occurrence of weather and God's design that we have the ups and downs in regards to weather. We go through times where there's a lack of things and there's an abundance of things. We've got the 4 seasons and the weather patterns and all of that God organizes and God directs. And could we say that God is the original designer of climate change? Because the reality is climate changes every day. I mean, you think about it, yesterday it got up into the 40s and then dropped down into the 20s. That's climate change. Hey, we experience climate change in our house. We're walking around in a nice warm, maybe 70, 72, 70 plus degrees in the wintertime. You step outside, boom, we've changed the climate within our own homes. And then you turn the shower on and the climate changes even more with the heat from the water. And so the climate change is nothing new. It has always been around, has always happened. And there's no reason to panic over the climate change. There is adjustment that needs to happen. When it gets cold, what do? We put on a coat. When it gets warm, we take the coat off, okay? That's how we adjust to the climate change. And we also, preparation as well. I think in the book of Proverbs, we read about the ant who's always preparing for those colder months. And that's what we need to do. We need to be preparing for the fact that the climate does change. And so be prepared for that. So sorry, I wandered off greatly there. Sorry about that. But that's what snow does to you. It gets you to think about that. Think about those temperatures. And then verse number 7, we see he sealeth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. Then the beasts go into dens and remain in their places. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. But the breath of God, frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straitened. And then we may stop there, but we read about just the organization of things. We see that all men may know God's work. There's certain things that we cannot control, and we're just kind of at the mercy of the Lord about. It says, then the beasts go into dens. You see that things are organized there and remain in their places during the times of snow, and then they come out of the south, come with the whirlwind. And isn't that true? You think about the southern United States. What comes out of the south there? We've got hurricanes that come up out of the south, and they come up into the United States. We've got even I guess south of where we're at here in northern Michigan, you've got Tornado Alley, those types of things. And so you've got the winds coming there, strong winds. And then the cold out of the north. We've had some very cold days, and we've had some snow storms, and all of that coming from the north. And so just know this. What does it say here? I want you to know verse number 7. What is being said throughout the entirety of these verses here? He sealeth up the hand of every man. Okay, mankind can't control some of these things. That all men, and why does he do that? That all men may know his work. And all of it is an evidence of the fact that God is in control, so that we can know who he is. And we're introduced to God oftentimes through his creation. And we recognize that this could not happen by accident, but rather it is happened on purpose by God's design, and his creation is to draw us to him. Unfortunately, there are many in our world today that see this creation, and rather than being drawn to God, they make a different application, and they begin to worship the creation rather than the Creator, and how sad that is. The world out there, the universe, the design, all of it points to the fact that there is a creator. Unfortunately, some people, they refuse to choose that there is a creator, and they worship that creation. Hey, let's be that faithful witness in telling people about a God that has created everything, a God that has created mankind with a purpose. And he's created us unique, and we can divulge into many different areas here. The fact that he's created us with a purpose, he's created us male or female, he's designed us that way for a purpose. And it's not, God did not create us to change our gender or those types of things, to mutilate our bodies in that fashion. God has created us uniquely and very specially. And so we've got to be an encouragement to the world, be an encouragement to those around us, that God has created us that way, and that we are unique. And let me tell you this, there are going to be struggles and battles in this life, and there are going to be times when we're uncomfortable, maybe with, and we're not confident in the way that God has created us. That doesn't mean that we change who God created us to be, but rather we need to come to grips with how God has created us as well, and be satisfied in that, be content in that, and then use our abilities, use who we are to glorify him. And to not be dissatisfied with how God has created us, okay? Sorry, we've kind of really wandered a lot throughout these couple of verses, and we'll pick up in verse number 11 tomorrow. But I want to once again thank you so much for being on with us today. All right. Thank you so much for that. Be sure and share our Power Up if you have not already done so. Want to encourage you, don't forget our services tonight at 6 o'clock. That'll be a great time of fellowship together and a great time in the Lord's house. All right. Let's greet those who are on live. Jean, good morning to you. Thank you for being on. Lee and Angie, good morning to you both. Thank you for being on today. Ingrid, good morning to you as well. Love you. Have an awesome day. Cliff and Karen, good morning to you both. Dennis and Geraldine, good morning to you. Look forward to seeing you all at church tonight. Jake, good morning. Hope that you are doing well in your driving. David, good morning to you. Gene, appreciate your encouraging comment there. And we just, I know you live down south, but we just appreciate the fact that I would ask that you would to pray for us, pray for myself as the pastor, and pray for the ministry here. Thank you so much for being an encouragement each and every day. All right, Lord bless you all. Thank you so much for being on. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Lord willing, we'll be able to touch base with many of you tonight. If not tonight, we look forward to being on again with you tomorrow morning during our Power Up. Have a great day, everybody.